My name's Carl Gosling and welcome back to another video. Today we're crossing over between sim racing and VR, two of the things I like to talk about on my channel and two of my favourite hobbies as well. And I'm answering a question that I pondered myself before buying my first motion platform, or my only motion platform, and a question that some of my friends in real life have asked me, and also some of the people, some of you viewers have asked me as well. And that is, does motion, as in a motion platform, a motion rig, help reduce motion sickness in racing games, simulators? And it's an interesting question, and there's like a yes and no answer to this. To put things in perspective, I do get motion sickness, and for me, games like Dirt Rally 2, where you're being thrown all over the place, are the absolute worst for setting off my motion sickness. Games where you're racing around a smooth circuit, you know, a Assetto Corsa or iRacing or something like that, when you're on nice smooth tarmac surfaces and you're not being thrown around, you're not drifting, you're not jumps and what have you, it's not anywhere near as bad, because the physical forces you should be feeling on your body are not as drastic. And this is what causes it, I think. It's because your brain sees what's going on visually through your VR headset, but your body doesn't feel anything. And for me, this was most evident when you start a race or a rally stage. You're stationary, you put your boot down and you roar off. At that moment, your brain, your eyes see that you're moving and accelerating, but your body doesn't feel anything. And for me, the wave of heat and nausea that would come over me as I accelerated, it was terrible. And like the other worst time is if I crashed and had to reverse. I almost, had to reverse with my eyes closed, just to stop getting this wave of heat and sweat and nausea. And it's such a pain in the ass, because racing in VR is just the best. There's nothing puts you in that racing seat literally more than virtual reality, you know, and it looks, feels and plays amazing. But the motion sickness for me is bad. So, you know, I've had VR for ages. I'm pretty good with my VR legs, so to speak. I don't really get motion sickness, but driving, yeah, that really kicks it off. So yeah, to answer the question, I got my motion platform. It's only a 2-axis, you know, forwards, backwards, left and right. And I was really keen to see whether it would help it or whether it would make any difference, or whether it would be somewhere in between. And the answer is it's somewhere in between. When I now accelerate off the line, which used to be one of the worst times for that wave of motion sickness, I don't get it so much, because the seat now throws me back. So my body feels a physical movement to marry up with what my eyes are telling me is going on. And the same when I brake, decelerate, the same when I'm cornering, you know, left and right. So that's good, and it does minimise it and makes a big difference, to be honest. But then, to counterbalance that, in something like Dirt Rally, where you do a reasonable amount of jumps, you would normally get that feeling of elevation and then dropping back down again, especially when you hit the ground. And of course, there's nothing there when that happens. So I think perhaps if you have no motion, your brain adapts to it after a long enough period of racing in VR. It's fine. But when you're halfway there and you get some physical feedback under acceleration and braking and cornering, and then all of a sudden nothing, when your brain expects there to be something, like when you do a jump, or maybe when you lose the arse end of the car. I don't have traction loss, I don't slide left and right. Your eyes are seeing that the car's sliding or jumping, but your body's just not feeling it, and it almost makes it twice as bad, compared to not having the motion at all. I'd be really keen to see if having a full motion rig, 6-axis, that lifts you up and down and with the traction loss, you know, eliminates those feelings altogether, and you just don't get any motion sickness at all. I'd be really keen to try out, you know, a setup like that. I haven't been able to yet. And if anyone fancies donating me a 6-axis motion platform, I'll definitely take it. Thank you very much. But yeah, and actually, if any of you guys in the comments or watching this have 6-axis motion and race in VR, let me know what you think. Does it? And of course, you need to have suffered with motion sickness in the first place. If you're one of the lucky people that doesn't get motion sickness, then you're just going to say, yeah, it's fine, it's great. So if you don't get motion sickness in the first place, it doesn't apply to you. But for those of you that do, does having your motion platform, your 6-axis motion rig, reduce it? You know, I'm keen to find out. One day I'll have one, I'm sure, but it's just getting the money together, you know, for that, along with everything else that I'd like and want as well, and life in general. And on that note, actually, I'd just like to say thanks to the few of you that have donated to the channel over the last couple of weeks. It's all being put to one side, you know, to get proper camera, some proper lights, tripods, and all the other little bits and bobs that I need. So cheers for your support there, guys. But yes, one day I'll have a 6-axis motion platform, and I'll find out for myself whether it reduces motion sickness or not. But if you've got that set up and you do get motion sickness, let me know in the comments, and you know, whether it helps, whether it doesn't, I'll be keen to find out. And as always, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Like and sub, you know the score. If it's something that you want to do to support us, that would be amazing. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.